little louder with your heart. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Everyone together a little louder with your heart. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. One more time, a little louder, please. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare
got it. Oh, did you take the this bag? There's one more bag.
મારો પોતો આવી જવા છે ચાલુ રાખ્યો આપણો પોતો આવી પોતો આવી ગયો મજામાં ને
Doing nicely. Beautiful.
Huh?
Very beautiful.
Yeah, it's old structure.
How long has it been?
This is 180 years. 180. Yeah.
How many people stay?
5.
Wonderfull.
Go. So, how are you? Good. Good. How was Swami? Awesome. Image, huh? Huh? What is this?
Script.
Oh. Sit for some time. Yes.
This painting is so nice. आपका ही फार्म ऐसा लग रहा है
Huh?
आपके फार्म का ही है
Weed का
ये grassland का है, and these are all my original cows.
वही मैं सोच रहा था क्योंकि looks very much like the place.
All my original cows which have won the national championships. I put them in a painting.
This was painted near your place only or it was painted here? Yeah.
It's about 100 kilometers from my place.
They painted there.
I first took the photographs of all the cows, then we arranged them. How we want to make it.
Okay.
And then the artist came here 3 times to see.
See.
The cows, the original color, and then the landscape in the monsoon.
Background here.
Yeah.
Looks so real.
He has done a good job.
Looks so real.
Yes.
As per Vastu, this is good.
Yeah. Since ancient times, the cow has always been believed to be an holy animal in India. The Hindus believe it's to be a very spiritual animal which brings with it health, wealth and prosperity. And to take maximum advantage of the cow, the ancient science of Panchgavya, where you use the 5 elements of the cow, bring you closer to the animal and lift you spiritually. In today's world, there is a growing awareness regarding the ancient Panchgavya theories, and seeing the demand there is to learn about the Panchgavya, we have come up with this academy which will teach young and aspiring people the science of Panchgavya. My family has been breeding the Gir cattle since now 1660, that is 355 years this year. Gir is the cattle of this area, and that is why when I graduated from university, I decided to work on the Gir cattle. We had our own cows, but I have got some germplasm from other Gaushalas also to introduce new blood into our lines. When I started in about I started in managing my family Gaushala in 1987. I decided that, you see, I went and saw a lot of Gaushalas. One fundamental mistake I thought people were making was they were spending a lot of money on large structures, on elaborate schemes. They were not investing in good germplasm. What I have done here is I have done the opposite. I have realized that our local animals don't require that special care. They are actually happier left to themselves. And the cow is a social animal. So if you keep it in a herd, you see it thrives and is better. Its mental state is better. So what we have tried to do in Jastan is give it a very conducive atmosphere which would be good for an animal, not for us. Like when we visit Gaushalas, you see big sheds, you see fans, you see air conditioners sometimes, water coolers. Now all this is not necessary for a cow. You see, the cow just requires to be left on its own. And that is what we have been trying. So I would advise a person who is to start a Gaushala is first you select the breed you want to select, keep. Means India has many different breeds of cattle. The breed you like, which you would like to specialize in, you must first study it, understand the breed, and then keep the best germplasm, the best pedigreed animals you select, and start your own herd, because the foundation stock is the important stock. It has to be good stock if you have in future to do well. I don't think a person should invest very heavily into land and building, because our Indian cows are bred in such a way that they are hardy animals. The world wants Indian cows because they are hardy animals. So invest more into good germplasm and less into buildings and other facilities.
I would like to also know about different kinds of feed arrangement. How do you arrange any special arrangement for the feed, the cows? Do you grow that?
Basically, we have our own grazing areas, 400 acres of rain-fed grasslands. My animals graze 12 months of the year. When our monsoon starts in June, so June to December, normally the grass is green, so they get green grass. When the grass turns yellow, they graze on dry grass. However, in the winter and summer, we supplement the feed. We are growing NB21 grass on our fields. Also, we grow sorghum, which we harvest and feed. Also, green maize. And for the milking animals, we are giving them cottonseed cake. So that is our main diet for the cattle.
How many acres land you're using for grazing, like for growing the grasses?
In the monsoon, we are using 40 acres to grow our dry fodder. And for the green maize, in the winter, we are using about 15 acres of land.
How long does it take to start a herd of mature and healthy cattle to the point where your Gaushala can be self-sustainable?
You see, I'll just say that a breeder is like an artist. Each breeder has his own concept of the cow he wants to breed, like an artist, how he paints. You see, this is the same concept. So, to standardize a herd, it would, I think, take about 30 years to standardize a herd. Means you can buy different animals, but it would not be standardized. So, to standardize and make a good herd, it would take you about easily 30 years.
What kind of personal life arrangement is most important to have in order to have the stability to develop such a long-term project? Like what's the prime quality in an individual that they need to have in order to be a good Gaushala
Caretaker.
I think one must be committed, because I have not come across any Gaushala which makes profit selling milk in India, means breeding indigenous animals. So if you have a foresight and commitment, only then could you, and initially you have to be ready to put in some money to get the project going.
I think any other question? Is there any other question? Yeah.
How much money would you recommend someone to have before they think about starting a Gaushala?
Now that's a very that's
Tricky one. It can be different for different people, yeah? Depends on
means
the land prices.
no it the price of land, but even the price of animal. Means
Yeah.
today a good gir cow, you may have to pay maybe 10 to 15 lakh rupees for a good gir cow, and a gir bull may be even costlier.
Yeah.
So it all depends on the quality you are
Looking for.
looking for.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's called standardization.
Yes.
Like to make that standard.
Yes. That is. There are gir bulls in Brazil which have sold for $1 million. Yes. So that all depends what you.
Looking for, yeah. Yeah, I think I'm just blanked out right now with the questions.
How much time during the course of the day does it take to sustain Gaushala? How much time you personally, and then how many laborers?
Yes. Now, today my Gaushala has about 120 odd animals. Regarding staff, there would be, I think, about 8 people, permanent staff in my Gaushala. I personally, when I started my Gaushala, I was giving it maybe 4 hours during the day, 2 in the early morning and 2 in the evening. Today, because through experience, I know my animals, I know each and every requirement of each individual animal. I am spending about 2 hours in the evening just to, basically I'm going there to motivate my staff. Means motivation is very important, staff motivation. So I go and just try and motivate the staff. So, because animal is not a machine where you can lock it up and keep it away. It has to be looked after 24 hours a day. And the people on site are the important people. So those people have to be motivated. They must be, they should think that these animals are their animals and look after them accordingly. Only then can you be successful.
Can you speak something about, is there, like, I don't know if this question is suitable for you.
Yeah,
I'm
but
just asking that when the cow delivers a calf, what kind of special care we have to take? Like, because I do not know anything about that aspect. Is there any special care we have to take when the cow is going to deliver the calf?
yes, yes.
What are those things, if you can?
I believe, like all animals, I'm not only just restricting myself to the cow, but all the animals, their needs are like the humans. Only thing is that the animals can't communicate. So when a cow is expecting, you have to give her special feed, special treatment. Mentally also she should be calm. You try and make her as comfortable as possible. And even after delivering, you look after the calf like you would look after a human baby. And that is the secret. Means there has to be a connect between the owner and his herd. He should look to the animals like they are his friends. You see?
I think we have covered most aspects.
Well, on a personal note, how has your experience been with starting a Gaushala? What were the stages of your inspiration, and what has been the result of that effort in your personal experience?
My personal experience has been that among the domestic animals, 3 animals are special. One is the cow, the other is the horse, and the third is the dog. Now these are special animals, I believe, and I have special experiences regarding a horse and a cow. Means the horse and the cow, in our philosophy also we believe that they are divine creatures, and keeping these animals has been spiritually uplifting. Also, I think they are sending out special waves, so they are benefiting the owners. The close proximity of these animals, the horse and the cow, to the owner is helping us in many ways in which we also cannot imagine. You see, maybe our bad vibes are absorbed by them. Our misfortune also could be taken up by them. And means for me it's an extremely rewarding experience keeping these animals. Not keeping them, but being in close proximity with them. That is important. Means a owner can own many animals, but if he is far away, that benefit he will not get. So there is definitely some factor, a spiritual factor. Also, I think health-wise also, there is a health factor, even a monetary factor, which cannot be explained. But there is some factor where a owner is benefiting. That is my personal experience.
Has it made you feel more happy, more satisfied?
Yes. Means basically when I started in my Gaushala, means I started managing my Gaushala, I had set some goals which I have been able to fulfill. So it's very satisfying, and every day is actually a learning process. The animals are your teachers. You learn from the animals, and the greatest, I think, learning thing is that humility. You see, all living things are equal. That is what living with animals teaches you. So that is a very humbling experience.
It's beautiful. Do you have hopes that your children will take up this same work?
Seva, same seva.
I think all the infrastructure is there for them now. They have to just continue the work. I am leaving with the best germplasm, Gir germplasm in the world for them to improve on. Even monetarily, now my Gaushala will do very well. So if one of my sons is keen, I think financially also it would be rewarding for him.
Is there anything else that we haven't asked that you would like to speak about?
Yeah. They say most people, not most, but everybody, when he is starting his Gaushala and all, the most emphasis is on productivity, milk. I have done it the different way. I have concentrated on the germplasm, on the purity of the breed. With purity will come, automatically comes the productivity. And today there is a worldwide demand for pure breeds of cattle, where this is where we will benefit from.
Purity is the force.
It's beautiful. Thank you so much for your time. What a privilege spending our days with you. I'll have to come tomorrow morning, 4 o'clock.
Yes, yes.
I have to pay my tax. I have to watch the bull.
Yeah, you have to watch the food.
Yeah.
No, I'm serious.
Yeah, of course.
As long as I
Because now, see, you have visited a lot of Gaushalas and all,
Yeah.
but the concept is different here.
Yeah.
I like very much the environment you have. It's very
Yeah,
simple, very natural.
it has to be natural. See, today I won 9 national championships. It's a record
Yeah, just for ghee.
for milking with this thing. Means what happened is when I bred the animals by the second generation, my animals were doing very well, milking and all this. So I told this to my friend, and he said, you have to prove it to the world. So I said, okay. So for 9 consecutive years, no, for 11 years I participated in the All India Milking competition. I won 9 first and 2 seconds, just to prove the strength of my animals, right? And then I decided that I don't want to overtax my animals, because when you are pushing them hard, there's a lot of stress, you know. So when we have proved our point that this can be achieved, we have again reverted back, and we are happy with the average milk yield now.
What was the highest?
In competition, our highest was 36 kilos.
Liters.
Yeah, kilos means small. It would be 38 liters in 24 hours. But at farm we have touched 42. Yeah, 42 kilos. Yeah, that requires special care.
When the milk increases, the fat decreases in the milk?
Yes, to a certain extent, maybe by half a point.
Okay, that much.
Yeah, half a point.
Wow, good. 42 is really good.
40 years, but
And this 9 years were from which year to which year?
this is from 1998.
1998 to
Yeah,
2008.
yeah. So we just participated. There was one year where I was first, second, third national milk kill champion. First was my cow, second was my cow, third was my cow. And there were in 1 year, one out of the 25 first, 25, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I had 18 cows in the first 25.
Oh, you listed them, all of them separately.
Yeah.
Wow. So the first
Because-
to 18 rank is yours, huh?
No, not first, but first was mine, then I think third, and that way. Second was somebody else, then. But in the first 25, 18 was mine.
Wow.
And that I did purposely because just to prove that like preparing an animal for a championship is like preparing an athlete for an Olympic. So people would say, okay, you may prepare 3 animals. So just to get numbers, I said, okay, this year I'll put 20 cows, not 3. And out of 2018 were in the top 25.
Wow.
Yeah. So
That's
it's
amazing, huh?
so these are records.
Do we have to give any special feed during that time?
Yeah, yeah.
Is it just,
No, you have to special care treatment.
and they leave the place from here? They stay here or they come?
No, the 5-member judge team comes here and they will milk your cows for 3 days
Oh,
and then take out an average.
okay. It's a good actually.
Yeah, yeah.
They change
And
the
it is
location
all
and things
on 12 months of the year. You have to give the date, then the team comes to your place.
This is good.
Yeah.
Good system actually. Because the location change, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
there's so many changes.
So as part of this Panchagavya course, will the students have an opportunity to do Go Seva at your Gaushala?
Well, if they are keen, they are always welcome. And more hands are always required. I don't know how keen the students are will be on Go Seva. They may be keen on Panchagavya. But Go Seva is a different matter.
Yeah, yeah.
It's hard work. And most people, students have dropped out in Go Seva.
Yeah.
They have continued in Panchagavya.
That's a grassroots work.
That's grassroots work. Huh?
Lifting the dung from the grass.
Yes. That is the original work.
Yeah.
Without that work, there is no Panchagavya.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's-
We went holistic.
Holistic, yeah.
It's beautiful. Do you have names for your cows?
yes.
Do you know all of them?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is there any particular scripture you take them from, or you give
No,
blessing?
actually, our lines are all maternal lines. Means the daughter takes the name of the mother, or the same alphabet. Like Dhamal daughter, the first will be Dhamal Moti, the second daughter would be Dhamal Nani.
Okay.
So that way.
Like it's basic
Yeah. So it's all maternal lines. So there are, like I told you, that the original lines we have, the names have remained original.
I would like to also know about lactation. Like, I mean, do you remember any of your cows which has the maximum amount of lactation?
Yes. The highest yield in a lactation in my herd, a Gir cow, her name was Hiral.
Yeah.
Hiral. In 305 days, she gave me 8,014 kilos. And she was a national champion. She peaked at 32 kilos. And at 10 months, she was giving me 23 kilos.
many, like maximum calf produced
Yeah.
like that?
Maximum cows a cow has given me is 14.
14.
Yeah.
Good. 14 is good.
Yeah.
So normally the cows retire at what age?
Normally they would retire at about 16 to 18 years. Yeah.
One of our friends had an idea that each cow should have her own bull as a husband. Is that what's the process for making sure there's genetic diversity and having no crossbreeding and
Inbreeding.
inbreeding? Yeah. How do you make
Basically, the idea, I'll explain. Basically, the idea is we were thinking that since we are going to have our own herd, we will have 50% cows and 50% bulls in the coming years. So instead of giving away our bulls, we were thinking that maybe we'll keep one bull and one cow. You know, like
No, like see, if you see nature, what happens is in such animals like a cow or even a horse, there is one stallion to so many mares in the wild, right? So in the wild also there is a natural selection because the males which are the strongest will breed.
okay,
That is how they are continuing their genetic, they are passing on their genes. So there are all these herd animals where there is one male and maybe 10, 15 females. So that would be
how
the
do you-
natural way.
How do you define which is the powerful breeding bull among the bulls you produce?
The first thing is seeing the pedigree. We know which lines are giving us the best bulls. Other thing is physical appearance is also important. Means the breed characteristics. A breeder should know what type of animals he wants in the future, right? So there are certain lines which genetically are very strong, and their males will pass on that gene to their young. So a breeder should know his herd well if he has to progress. You see, it's very easy for people to go out and buy animals, right? Your only test will come when you are in your third or fourth generation of breeding your own animals. That is where your knowledge and ability will come into play. Because when you go to buy, naturally you will select good animals. But after that, whether their progeny improves, that depends on the breeder. So that is your work.
So there is a very careful selection of the bulls which will be chosen for breeding.
Yes, because
Appearance and
there has to be, in a domestic scene, in the wild there is a natural selection, means anything which is weak will be eliminated. Right? Here, because it's a protected environment, you have to be very selective in what bull you will select and what you want. Means some person may want more milk for his herd, somebody may want more beauty. Like your herd, maybe they are short animals, you want to improve the height, then you select
that kind of bull.
that kind of bull. So according to your requirements, you have to select the animals.
I was also wanting to understand Gir cows, specifically, which I heard with one other friend who is also breeding Gir cows, about the Gotra system. What they are following. He said there are 15 Gotras in Gir cow in the country, and he's having around 12 of them. So he uses that kind of system to protect the lines, I think, and also for breeding purposes. So can you share some information on that? What is the system, Gotra, and how do you identify cows when you are taking Gir cows based on that?
Like, I've not come across any Gotra system. But in genetics, basically there are three systems you can follow. One is inbreeding, where you are breeding close relatives. If you want to fix a certain gene, a certain type, many times you have to inbreed the animals, right? The other thing is line breeding, means distant relative animals you mate. And the third is outcrossing, means a totally unrelated line you introduce into your herd. So these are the three simple and scientific ways of breeding a cow or an animal.
But the third thing which you explained is mostly changing your bull, just getting a bull.
Yeah, but from an unrelated line.
Unrelated line. How do you identify that line is related? Because maybe you have to check that with your own.
Yeah, means that you have to check through your own sources and different line. But I don't know, Gotra and all that is,
New to you.
this is new to me.
Is there a way you do a scientific gene test, or
Yeah, DNA test.
Oh, you can do that. Huh? Wow. That is
To-
the best way, I think.
The DNA test tells you the purity also of the herd. How pure your herd is. Because it will tell you all the earlier generations, which bulls have been used.
I think most of the things which you explained us about the gear cows and how to, things to take care of, all the aspects. I think this information is valid for everyone in all breeds of cows, not just gear, I think. Because it's basically.
Yeah, it's general information.
general.
It is general information for.
And I think it is basic information. Basically, you're trying to tell us you have to be more human, like.
No, I'm trying to tell you is, if you study the animal first, and how it would react in a wild situation, and then give it that thing, that is where it will be the happiest.
Natural circumstances.
Yes. And natural circumstances will give you the best results.
I have one question.
Yeah.
This is it's a question which has been like a controversial question among the vegans and all these guys. See, in a natural circumstance, like when the gear was in natural, like wild, the milk yield which it gives up to 30 to 22 liters, whatever is there. Maybe it was same before also when people were not domesticating it. And what was like the calf was always with the mother. In a wild circumstance, the calf is always with mother, and she gets the share. But what is that extra share which is left out? Who gets that share, or it is not there?
No, basically, like all the cattle breeds of the world, they evolve from two distinct wild forefathers. Right? The Indian breed of cow, which has the hump, that is evolves from Bos indicus, right? The European breed, the African breeds, which don't have the hump, they have evolved from Bos taurus. So these are the wild forefathers of our cows, right? Now what has happened is man domesticated the cow for his needs, right? And according to his needs, he has developed the breeds. Like there have been breeds developed, say, for milk. Like in India, the Gir, say Sahiwal, Red Sindhi, these are all milking breeds. Then man developed breeds for agriculture, ploughing, like the Kankrij, right? Then even for wars, for hauling big cannons. In the south, they develop ongol,
Amrit Mal is main.
amritmal, halikar. So these are breeds, this thing. So in the wild, you see what happens is the animal will give milk what the young wants.
Okay.
So accordingly, this thing. So if you, that is why a breeder has to be careful, because if you are not careful in 2 or 3 generations, the animals will start reverting back to the original state. So that is why the selection of the bull is important. Means maybe you have a high yielding herd, but if you are not selective good animals, not selecting good animals, then 3-4 generations the milk yield will go off and they'll revert back to the wild.
Okay.
And milk production is all depending on, say, the geese, suppose. So, when the udder is full, the udder will send a message to the brain to stop production of milk. So what your question was that what will happen to the extra milk, right? So that's why when you milk it, the more you milk, the more production will happen.
Okay.
Because the bag is empty, the,
Yeah, the more will.
the message will be sent for more production.
Right. So basically, what you're trying to say is that in a wild, that is not there, and so they produce only as much is required.
As required. What is the requirement of a calf is 1/10 the weight.
Okay.
So when a newborn calf is born, it would be 15 kgs to 20 kgs. So the requirement is hardly 1.5 liters, 2 liters of milk. While in a domestic situation, a cow would give you 20 liters.
Yeah.
So that 18 liters is surplus.
It's because of the.
That is because of the domestic breeding of the animal.
So we have to be very careful in the management of the calf and.
Yeah.
It's very important information about this aspect, because now at this stage where the cow is giving maximum, it's basically because of the intervention of human in the
Yes.
in generations.
Yeah.
Now if we just send them wild,
They'll revert back.
it can give different results.
Yes. It will give different result. Other thing is, if you see the lactational cycle of the animal, the animal will peak when the young is about 3 months old. So first month less milk, second milk, little more milk, third is the peak. It'll stay in peak till 5 months, then again the decline, because by the 6th or 7th month the calf has started eating, so it doesn't require much more milk. So that's why that's a natural cycle.
Yeah. We are basically balancing between as much is required by the calf and
Yes.
more what we are. Yeah, we have to be very careful. I think we have covered
Yeah,
the
most of the
questions, and
points.
I think this should be good enough for us.
Start. We'll have
Yeah.
to come back again later. More questions.
More questions.
Well, once we get ourselves in actual trouble, then we'll
Then you'll come back. So what you are
theoretical trouble.
you are planning a documentary on?
Well, what we're trying to do is educate people on the value and importance of taking care of cows, both for the environment as well as for their health and also for their own personal well-being. So people's primary motivation right now is how to make money and how to survive.
Yeah.
So we're trying to demonstrate, because we're both, looking to be stable, family people. So we need to have our own occupations. So we're looking at this. We see Ganesham's operation serving with you, and see that as an inspiration. So we came here to learn what is he doing, and we invited some of our friends that are also working in this field, and we're getting all of their collected wisdom and capturing it here. and then we'll process it and develop it and distribute it and invite more people to come. And then we want to learn more and practice more so that we can have a larger group of people that know, so that we can work together and build a stronger economic base. So that we can
You see, I believe India today requires its cows more than any other time.
Yeah.
The main reason is the agriculture, because by using pesticide and fertilizers, we have destroyed our lands. And only if you put in farmyard manure into your lands and revert back, can you improve the health of your lands. And with the growing Indian population, if the productivity of the land falls, it will be disastrous. So I believe today the cow is much more important to India than any other time. Because if India has to save itself, it can save itself only through the cow.
That's what our belief is.
Yeah.
That's our mission also, that we believe Lord Krishna, he was a prince of the world, he is still a prince of the world, and he has chosen activity to herd the cows. He was a coward boy. And as per till now, all the research we did, all the interviews we made, all the seminars we did, that brings us back to the same point, that occupation is the best occupation, following the footsteps of the blue coward boy.
Yeah, but not everybody can follow this occupation. And you have to be very maybe special to follow the...
We are trying to make like this information available to as many people as possible, so that they can experience this life.
Yeah.
If not as a whole,
just
maybe so sometime, and they will enjoy it, because we have been enjoying just watching and being part of it. And we know you, like you are already experiencing different benefits. So I think it's good, and it's best actually.
It's best, but in today's, because we have turned the world topsy-turvy, so it will take a long time to revert back to the ancient ways, which were the true ways, the time-tested ways. Those have survived for maybe 5,000 years, the traditional ways. The new ways are just coming, so we don't know whether we are doing the right thing. And increasingly, I feel that if India has to do well, it will be on the back of the cow.
Cow is the backbone of our economy.
That's what I feel. I may be wrong, but I feel with my everyday experiences that I'm gaining, that the cow would be our savior,
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
That's been the result of my learning, is that after learning so many things, I feel I have no other option. Now that I know what is the need and what is the solution and how to do it, now I feel like I can't, waste my time in pursuing technology or financial manipulations or all the different occupations that are out there. They're all dependent upon agriculture, because without food you die.
Yeah.
And without land, what is the value?
Yeah.
So everything boils down to this, and if I don't do it, then how can I expect anyone else to do it?
Yes, true. So the time will come for the cow. This, I feel, this is just the beginning. The time for the cow will come. Means this awareness, like you all, now you have no connection with the cow earlier, but now you are realizing. So the time will come when the cow will be again sought after.
So we've come here seeking you. We're a milk-seeking missile.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, Hare Krishna.
Thank you for your.
Go inside, go inside. 250 years old temple. Forget.
Little louder with your heart. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare